What up, Christophers? This is your boy, the Christoph Lee, and welcome to episode 2 of the Christoph Lee Show. And for today's opening monologue, we are going to do a Q&A because I think you guys want to get to know me a little more. So, I wanted to do my own thing of like a version of Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, but based in RBA and make it black because there's not a lot of TV show hosts that are black, and so I just felt like I wanted to put another voice out there and show that we can also do this, and that I just wanted to be out there with stuff because I want to travel and I want to showcase RBA and other places that I want to go to, and I just want to have fun because I just wanted the show to be fun, and that's the reason why you don't really see a lot of politics or really hard topics because people need an escape nowadays because I just feel like a lot of people just need an escape from that, and that's the reason why you don't really see me making little jokes about who's in office right now because some of the stuff he says, that's a layup, and every other show, TV show host always makes a joke about him because it's easy. Man, I just felt like I'm just taking pot shots at this point because it's like it's so easy to make a joke now. So I'm just like, I don't want to do that. But I just basically wanted the show to be an escape from real life and to show you the positive stuff and the fun stuff that people do. I was like 10 years old, and if I could find some throwback footage of me doing this, I'll show you guys. But yeah, I've been doing this kind of media thing since I was 10 years old because my dad, he used to do film, and he also went to this little studio that's in downtown Richmond, and he would produce shows, and that's where I learned how to do everything and editing and all the technical stuff of producing a TV show. And I've been doing this since I was like 10 years old, so that's like 2009, so it was like before everybody wanted to be a YouTuber or anything, but so I don't really want to be called a YouTuber because I have experience and the credentials to do this, and but it's whatever though. And my mom, she also did videography and photography, so I have my knowledge on that. So, and eventually I'll go to school for hosting and other media stuff. But yeah, I've been doing this since I was basically 10 years old. Favorite football teams is the Patriots, and because I always just liked them since I was young because of the colors. And no, I'm not a bandwagon. I've been liking them since I was 7 years old. So this is right before the 2007 season. And Tom Brady was my favorite player at the time, and he still is. But so I suffered through the wins and the losses, basically. And now that he's gone, I appreciate him. But I'm glad we do have Cam Newton, Superman, at the helm. And my favorite basketball team is the Lakers. And yes, this was before LeBron came because I had to suffer through that era of the process from 2014 to 2020, basically, because and then the fact that my dad is a Lakers fan, so I was just like, let me just go to the Lakers. And the other sports, basically, I root for the home team, but since Virginia doesn't really have a sports team, I just root for teams that's in DC. So yeah, so my favorite baseball team is the Nationals, and hockey is the Capitals. I didn't really get into this sooner because it really take it seriously, because I think I would have been ahead of the curve and would have been further than I am right now. But it's whatever though. Everyone goes through trials and tribulations and goes through things. That's how we learn and that's how we grow, right? And then I miss about high school is I didn't have to pay bills, and that free AC, free food. I didn't really like school that much, but at least I still had friends / associates to talk to. And I really had a fun time in high school, so I don't really have any grudges toward high school or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Michael Jackson through his music, and Kendrick Lamar because of his music and his message, and J. Cole, Jay-Z, because of his business savantness and all of that, and Kendrick Lamar. I already said Kendrick Lamar, but Tom Brady because of his hard work ethic, and LeBron James because of his hard work ethic and his activism and the way he's using his platform for social change, and also my mom and my dad. What is the goal of the show? The goal is to actually get on a streaming service or a big TV network like NBC or ABC, all of that. But I really hope this does take off because it will really mess with what I do. And even if you don't, I'm still going to do this and put it out there because I got to do that. I got to get the message out there. So I really hope this does take off. And these are the questions for the opening monologue. And now I'm going to take it to my first interview with BriannaThinks.
Her name is BriannaThinks, and she is a political organizer. She is also a graduate of A&T, North Carolina A&T, and she does so many things, and she's going to talk about it today. How are you today?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. So
Oh, okay.
So what endeavors have you gotten into in terms of political stuff?
What endeavors have I been in, talking political-wise? I'm currently a political organizer, working to mobilize black voters come the November election. I'm also touching down in states, so I've been working in Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, and then most recently Ohio and Indiana. Trying to get as much black people registered to vote, educated, let them know about community relationship building, because we have to build up our community to have actual political power, right? We can't all be divided.
Right.
So we've really been emphasizing that. And then having talks like this with you, and we've actually done a talk together. We did a virtual social justice power hour together, a while ago. So that was a good one. And then helping other friends with different endeavors that they have, different podcasts, different Instagram networks, really just trying to get the word out as much as possible about the work that needs to be done, because it takes everyone to do it.
Okay, so did you say that, tell me before that you was working on the, which campaign are you working on?
That's a tough one. So the way I feel about it, it personally kind of makes me upset, but I can get where they're coming from. Like, it's never just a one-sided conversation when it comes to voting, because voting is such a huge right, especially that people of color, women had to fight for so long. So it kind of upsets me on one hand to see, like, you see all these injustices being made, but you don't want to help fix the problem. Like, you see different people in your community wanting to, like, adjust to get so-and-so out the office, and then you don't want to help. Why not? And they say, well, I don't like the options. I'm like, okay, I get that. You know, it's understandable. Not every option we have is going to be like the 2008 Romney-Obama election or anything like that. So, 12 Obama-Romney election. But it's still something that we actively have to do, we as citizens. And then be the first people to complain. People who didn't vote would be like, oh, well, Trump is doing X, Y, and Z. All right, and what did you do? Because we were voting, but the way enough people in this county were voting. So you and your friends who didn't vote didn't help. But I can also see how people feel like their votes doesn't count. Excuse me.
Because of the Electoral College.
Yeah, because of the Electoral College. But the way the Electoral College works is you have to get many people to vote as possible for your party to get them. Like, so yeah, he had the popular vote, but it was spread out. Like, Hillary had the popular vote, and it was so, like, dispersed across the country. It wasn't like these people were voting Hillary, these people were voting. Like, it was very not necessarily unorganized, but it wasn't universal. So I can see how he won, because technically that's how it works. A system I hate, but I know how the system works, so I know exactly how we have to organize a win. But Electoral College overall is just an outdated system that's been used for hundreds of years that we just need to get rid of.
Right. And I seen something recently that the government was trying to get rid of the electoral college. Well, not exactly get rid of it, but like it's great that we are having a black woman vice president, but people say that some of her policies in her past being a prosecutor, some people will, I would say, more radicals or more in touch with the social issues, say that she's kind of bad for us because of her past. And
right.
But do you feel that not everyone has a perfect past, and we still gotta look past that, in case we want somebody else that wants to occupy the White House? Because a lot of people don't like who's in the White House right now. So.
Right. So, Kamala Harris. Everyone's excited that we have a black woman running for VP, like you said, but a lot of people say that's not the right black woman. You know, they're like, that's not the one I wanted. You know, we got police in the office. You know, this prosecutor, but I think Kamala Harris was a strong choice. She's a powerful woman. She's a very, very powerful woman. I highly do believe that. And she has the experience, she has the knowledge, she has the know-how. Like, she's a force to be reckoned with. She really is. But looking on the side of what she done in her prosecutor work and policies that she had implemented before, it's causes some commotion in the black community, because we're like, okay, is she really for us? Like, we know she went to the HBCU, we know she wants to get our loans taken away, but you know, the policies, the numbers are showing something different. And I think it's really a toss-up between her. I think having her on the campaign helped and hurt the Biden ticket at the same time, because, you know, you have a woman of color, which is like never happened on a major party ticket for the election, which is incredibly amazing. And there's going to be so many people for that, and there's going to be so many people who are against having a woman, and especially a woman of color on the ticket, that not only just not like her, but we also have other black people who aren't going to like her policies, and they're not going to vote for her because of that. I know a lot of people, as soon as she was announced, they were like, that's it, I'm not voting. Even some celebrities came out, they were like, you know, this isn't our first choice either, but we got to do what we got to do. Right. But as far as it goes as her doing, I think she would be a great vice president. I really do. But how would she be helping us? That's the main thing we're looking for. We don't want to just vote somebody in just because. We want to know what they're going to do for our communities, and we want to hold them accountable to that. Right. So I'm really looking for, within these next couple of weeks, any other policy that she's going to bring up that she wants to take action on as in her role as vice president. She did announce that she wanted to wipe out student loans for HBCU students making $125K a year, which I think is great. But then you also have the division between black students who went to PWIs. But I do think the HBCU community is an underfunded and underserved community that needs to be addressed. And I think that's wonderful. But, you know, what else? What else? Because at this point, this is just the talking phase. You could talk as much as you want, say anything. Like, I want to do X, Y, and Z. We know Congress isn't going to let it happen, but we want to see what your ideas are for what you want to do for your people that got you here.
Right. Speaking of Congress, a lot of people say that a lot of people don't know this, but people should be voting locally, be voting for their senators. A lot of people do not know that. And do you want to explain how that system works, and that we should be voting locally more than nationally?
Yes. So your local elections are the most important elections ever. So that's where you're voting for your city council, your sheriff's department, your mayors, like all stuff like that affects you, because those people affect you as an individual. Yes, the presidential election is very important, and eventually, like, the policies they implement will affect you, but your city council is going to affect you way quicker. They can put something in place and it affects you the very next day, and a lot of people don't think about that. Even like your school board, like, there's so many little elections that you should be on than just the one every 4 years. Most come up like every 2 years, or every year, depending on the seat that needs to be open and how long somebody has been sitting on it. There's so many things that can affect you. City council can affect like your property. They can address gun violence in your community. They can address problems with the school and school funding. That's who people really need to be looking to. And it's so sad. I like to jump around to a bunch of different city council meetings just to see the issues that people are facing, and you hardly see people in there. And those are open and public meetings that a lot of people just don't know about. Like you can go on their website, find your local city council, and go sit on their meetings. Hold them accountable. If you don't like a vote or a decision that's been made, speak up against it. Let your voice be heard. Let them know, like, hey, we are in the room and we don't want that. The last city council meeting I went to was actually, it took them some years to address gun violence in the Greensboro community, and when we went, they had finally passed a gun violence, almost like a protection program, to protect especially young black kids against everything that's going on in the community. And it took so long for mothers going out to city council meetings crying and begging for justice for their kids before they even had the nerve to do anything. And why did they do anything at that certain city council election meeting? Because there were people up for re-election and they needed those votes, and it's very strategic, and we have to pay close attention, because you could, oh, well, they've been in this office and I think they've been doing an okay job, I'm gonna go ahead and just, pencil them in, let them stay in office. You don't know what they're doing all the other time up before it's time for their re-election. They could just be doing nothing for the community, not be holding anybody accountable. They're just sitting in the seat, collecting the check. And then right before re-election, like, all right, let me go ahead and do this so everyone thinks I'm doing something. And that's something that we can't let fly, and something that we definitely have to be voting actively on and be very on top of who's in our local offices.
Okay, right. And then the final, not the final, but like there's a, so.
What do I want the people to do? All right, everyone, I want everyone to go out and get registered to vote. Look up your state, when your deadline to register is. Get registered to vote, and then actually go vote. Don't just get registered and that be it. Go out and have a voice. Even if you choose to write someone in, that's your personal prerogative, but exercise your right to vote. A lot of people have died for you to be able to vote, and you don't necessarily have to feel pressure to it, but do it because you want to see actual change in your community and you want to hold people accountable. And I'm not talking about just the presidential election. I'm talking about all of our local elections that need voices on. Those are the main ones that we need people speaking up for and people advocating for. And I highly encourage everyone to look up your next local elections and then see what's going on and see who's on the ballot and register and vote then.
All right. Well, this is BriannaThinks, and this is the Christophe Show. I'll see you guys next time.
And now we're on to the segment of Christophe going off. What up, Christophe? This is your boy, D. Christophe Lee, and for Christophe going off for today, I'm going to talk about how we need to stop conclusions before we have context to information that's presented to us. And the reason why I'm making this video, well, the reason why we make this segment is because there's this video of this man appearing to attack a woman because she was twerking, and people kept claiming that was his girl. But I'm gonna play the clip for you right here.
Yo, what?
Yeah, I can't see the reason why I say we have to wait for more information to come out is because we don't know what's going on. I can't judge off the 6 seconds of video because I just don't know. So I didn't really comment on it on social media. But a lot of people were making think pieces and essays talking about some why is she popping it when she's supposed to be in a relationship. The man is in the right, and the man has a right to act that way when, like I said, we don't know what was going on. We don't know if they're together. We didn't know that. And then come to find out in the other angle of the video, which I'll play for you right here. Come to find out that they not even together, and the guy was after the two other girls in the corner. And they wasn't even together. Now they have no relation to each other. But my thing is, you guys were jumping to conclusions, making videos video essays and all this other stuff without even knowing the full context. And if you don't know the full context, you're gonna look like a fool. And then the fact that, and also the fact that you guys were justifying abuse or justifying a man acting out like that in public to a woman that just didn't sit right with me. And then the fact that if you look at in the second video,
¡Ay, cabrón! What the fuck? ¡Ay, cabrón!
the two girls in the corner that were cornered, they were cowering. They were like in fear, like why do you have to cause a scene? But there was so much wrong with that. There's just so much wrong with the whole thing that happened with social media. And this is the reason why I say we gotta wait for more context, wait for more information before we comment on anything. Because without the right information presented to you, you're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look terrible. And that's all I gotta say is just look for more info, look for more context, let more information come out before you jump to conclusions. And now we're on to the second guest interview, and her name is JoJo the Goat. She's an upcoming female rapper, and she got some fire bars. And here we go.
What up, Christophers? It's your boy, the Christoph Lee, and today I have an up-and-coming female rapper. Her name is JoJo the Goat.
Hey,
Hello,
y'all.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, what made you want to become a rapper?
I want to become a rapper because I didn't want to become a rapper originally, but once I got into it and I was realizing how much of a creative outlet it was, and like I told you before, me falling in love with the process, it made me want to keep doing it, keep sticking with it, and just me seeing my development thus far. And I've only been taking it serious about a year. It's the one thing I don't lose my passion for, you know. Other things I just try, don't really like, but music is one thing that sticks with me, and I feel like my heart's really in it. So that's why I decided to really become a rapper and not just be a rapper, if you get what I'm saying.
I got you. So, if you guys have listened to her music, she sounds so different from when she's talking from right now. So, how did you get your voice? Because you sound so different talking versus when you're rapping, because your voice sounds a little deeper on the track.
So it takes a lot of practice. It took me a lot of practice, honestly. Basically, how I came up with it is just doing different things. Like, I would just say certain lines just differently. I just kept saying them differently, seeing, okay, maybe I should whisper a little bit more. Maybe I should be a little bit deeper. Maybe I should keep my voice just as high. And I've been practicing with it. I'm still developing my sound or whatever, but that's how I did it. Just practicing and just hearing different sounds, especially going to the studio and hearing how one voice sounds compared to how another voice sounds. So now I'm getting into that, like, raspy, deep, like you were saying, but I'm trying to keep my voice somewhat similar to how I talk, just giving it its own flavor. Yeah.
There's 4 tracks out on SoundCloud as of now, and they all sound fire. But there's this one song now where you on, which is a snippet. It is the freestyle that you did over Biggie's Big Papa. And I really love that. Well, the snippet so far. When are you dropping that one now?
So all I need to do, honestly, is go back to the studio. I want to redo the hook. I don't like how the hook came out. So I'm gonna go back to the studio and do that, and I should be dropping it on SoundCloud. I'm gonna go with the first week of October. I was gonna say the last week of September, but could be pushing it. But definitely, like, in the beginning of October, I want to get that out. That's when I want to drop that one. Just want to make a couple tweaks to it to make sure it sounds just how I want it to sound.
Sounds good. And so, who are your influences when you're who is your influences when you're rapping?
G Herbo. He influences me just to be real, speak on real experiences, storytell, you know, let people in to the world that they don't see. anybody else who inspires me, more so just inspires me to just be myself, keep my individuality. Like Cardi B, she's just so authentic to who she is. Megan, I just respect, her work ethic, and how she just came in the game, hasn't missed yet, and just doing her freestyles, doing her visuals. That's what I'm trying to do. Just be able to just post content. But yeah, G Herbo was definitely probably like my biggest influential. And then Cardi B's personality plus her vibe sort of inspires me just to, show my personality through my music. And then Megan, she inspires me when it comes to my work ethic, what I should be doing to be consistent, to remain topic of discussion and grab more people's attention day by day every time I drop.
Who are the people that you would shout out in your songs? Friends, family?
Zeke. Like I was saying, he's one of my best friends. He sit there, really critique me, give me feedback, motivate me, push me to be better. I've known him for years and he's never changed. And even with me just starting to do music, the same type of support he showed me before, it's like even more now just with my music. My friend, why did the name my friend Omari supports me like no other. We post all my stuff, likes it, comments on it, always tells me, you're gonna blow up, you're gonna be that, like, you don't stick to this, don't ever stop, because you got some. And then if I was just to continue to say everybody who supported me, I would just shout out everybody around me, all my friends, all the people that, because there's really nobody around me that doesn't support what I do and doesn't show me love. So I would have to just say everybody around me. Everybody know that I always tell them how appreciative I am of them. I appreciate the support. The love runs deep because of that. Because, people don't really owe you that support just because they're your friends. Like, that's the one reality, harsh reality and truth you got to realize. People don't owe you nothing. So the fact that, everybody around me still shows me that, I'm really appreciative of it. So shout out all my dogs.
Who is your dream collaboration?
My dream collaboration is G Herbo. That'd be the day I cry. That'd be the day I cry about music. Like, G Herbo is just somebody. Just meeting him would be a dream come true. Just him hearing my music would be a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Just to know that somebody I love so much heard my music and actually might have something to say about it, I want a collaboration with Mulatto. Every feature I've heard from her that she did with somebody else has been hard, so I'll do collaboration with her. And then, yeah, those would be the main two.
And so with all the stuff that's been going on lately with in terms of Black Lives Matter and other social issues, do you see yourself using your platform in the future as a way to address these issues and talk about things like the song with Lil Baby, The Bigger Picture? Do you see yourself doing something like that?
Of course, one of my songs on SoundCloud is dedicated to George Floyd, talking about what we as Black people experience, what we endure as Black people, the lives that we lose, the names that become hashtags, that's something that's really important to me to advocate once I am in a position where I can advocate for it for a little bit more. I want anybody that's working with me to be Black. I want to create Black jobs. I want to create Black wealth. I want to shop with Black businesses. I want a Black producer. I want a Black music video, videographer. We are such powerful individuals. We have really, our culture inspires all the others. I don't care what anyone says, and I just want to advocate for everything that we go through and sort of elevating us to another level that they felt like we couldn't be at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So what does the future hold for you?
The future holds, optimism. The future holds legacy. The future holds game-changing music. I want my music to just be like a whole different sound that was derived from where I'm from, but I created a whole new thing. I created a whole new sound. I want to influence young females that, you know, are soft-spoken like me, you know, that feel like I want to make music. I want to do it. I want to inspire females to, you know, make more music. I want to be in a position where I can be bigger than my music. I want to, just like we was talking about, advocating for those real issues in our society, you know, all the societal issues, and building generational wealth, giving back to those who supported me, giving back to those in need. I want to blow up for my music, but I real life want to be humanitarian. Like, I want my music to just be the gateway to me being able to do so much more, owning businesses, you know, all that. Like, I want to change the world. I want to change the world.
Thank you guys for watching. This is JoJo the Goat. Are there any places where we can find you on Instagram or SoundCloud?
Instagram, JoJo the Goat. Well, it's _ JoJo the Goat, but JoJo the Goat will pop up. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/JoJo the Goat. My other music will be coming to other platforms soon. But right now, that's what I got for y'all. And also my Twitter, John A. It's JA 2 H's, NA 3 Y's.
All right. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me in this opportunity.
Okay. And also, see you guys next time. Bye, Christophersons.
See y'all.
All right, guys, that is episode 2 of the BriannaThinks show.
Support the show on Patreon. You can also watch the show on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram at the Christoph B Show, TheChristofFFlee Show, and you can follow us on Twitter at Christoph Show. That's KHRISTOFFSHOW, and that is the Christoph.
Thank you guys for watching.